Hey! Hi, how you doing? This is Ryan, and welcome back to the Gamertron Show, and welcome to my very last video on Marvel's Avengers. I know I said the last video I did about Marvel's Avengers would be my last one, but this one, I swear on me mum, cross my heart and hope to die, this is the very last video I'm making on Marvel's Avengers. I have to comment on the recently released roadmap. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Marvel's Avengers community have been begging, pleading with Crystal Dynamics for a timeline, a roadmap for upcoming content. And credit where credit is due, Crystal Dynamics, after over 7 months, after over half a year since the game launched, they've finally released a content roadmap for 2021. And if you needed any more evidence that Crystal Dynamics is either incompetent or delusional or both, well, here you go. So the Hawkeye update launched in this month of March, and as expected, it's a broken, buggy mess that fixed almost nothing. Game still crashes constantly, constant lag spikes and drops in FPS, enemies and your characters alike falling through the environment. Besides the new character of Hawkeye, just about everything else in the update is reused assets as expected. Oh, and let's not forget, leveling up in the game is now longer, grindier, more tedious than ever. So yeah, I'd argue not that much of a good update, but what's coming throughout the rest of 2021? Can Marvel's Avengers be saved? Well, coming spring, we're getting the Tachyon anomaly update. Play as any combination of your favorite heroes, and Tachyon missions scaled for power levels 1 to 100. So basic features. You announced that you're adding basic features to the game on your roadmap. Play as any combination of your favorite heroes. Basically whether you're playing with bots in solo play or with other people in multiplayer. Now everyone, if they wanted to, could play as the same hero. You're not locked to having only one Iron Man or one Captain America in the team. You can have a team of all Iron Mans, all Captain Americas, etc., etc. A basic fucking feature that should have been in the game at launch. Can you imagine if fucking Destiny forced people to have a Warlock, Titan, and Hunter in every multiplayer team? Like, you couldn't have more than one Warlock? Imagine if Borderlands, you couldn't play co-op because you and your buddy were both playing as Sirens. Imagine in Warframe, where you couldn't play with your friends, because we both only have the exact same Warframe, so we can't play in co-op with each other. We all have to be different Warframes. It's a basic feature. Crystal Dynamics is adding a basic feature into Marvel's Avengers that should have been in the game at launch, and it took them over half a year, 7 months plus, to add in this basic feature. And they're announcing this basic feature as significant content on their roadmap. Come on, man. You can't defend this. I know there's going to be Marvel's Avengers fanboys and shills that are going to defend this how can you complain about this? This is only a good thing. Yes, technically, this is a good thing. This is a good thing that's being added into the game. Why did it take over half a year for them to add this? Why was this not in the game at launch? Why is this in their roadmap as a major feature and addition? It's a basic feature. It's a basic mechanic in any other multiplayer game. Being able to have multiple of the same class or multiple of the same character in a multiplayer group or team over half a year. Over half a year, keep this in mind, it has taken them over half a year to add this basic feature. That should be setting off alarm bells that something is seriously wrong over at Crystal Dynamics. It's still embarrassing that it took them over half a year to add single-player campaign replay. Why is it taking Crystal Dynamics months upon months to add basic features? Anyways, the next content update coming in spring, Red Room Takeover. Enter the Red Room with new themed harm room content and new hero outfits. That's it? The harm room, the simulation room, the hologram room where you can just beat up robots over and over again. Okay, you're adding new content to that. What new content? Not even the slightest hint of details as to what that might be. But who wants to bet money that it's just gonna be reused assets and beating up robots over and over again in the harm room? Ooh, maybe they'll add a timer and modifiers. More basic features and reused assets and what is there to get excited about here? Anyways, coming in summer and beyond, Cosmic Cube update. New Scientist Supreme Villain Sector. Confront the unchecked power of the Cosmic Cube. So, more reused assets. You're just taking Monica, the evil scientist from the single-player campaign, and making her a boss battle now. And this whole cosmic cube nonsense, it's like it's a nothing burger. You've told me nothing. So more reused assets, yay. Okay, and then after that we have the Wasteland Patrol update. New Warzone mission type. Patrol mode. New war zones and assignments within the Wasteland region. So more reused assets. And a basic game mode that's been in other games, in other looters and MMOs for years now. Granted, patrol mode is something the community has asked for. But you're gonna be waiting till summer! Hell, maybe not even summer since there's no set dates here. This says summer and beyond, so for all you know, you may be waiting for this basic game mode until fall or even winter. So yeah, the community is finally getting something that they've been asking for, patrol mode. A basic game mode and feature that so many other games have. And it's taking them essentially almost a whole year to put this content out there. It's taking Crystal Dynamics almost a whole year to develop a basic gameplay mode. Holy shit. And then finally, we have the War for Wakanda expansion. Basically, the only worthwhile content on this roadmap. The only new content that isn't nothing but reused assets. And you're gonna have to wait basically most of the year to get your hands on it. And since this is an expansion, it's heavily implied that you're gonna have to pay for this new content. Oh my god, they're insane! Crystal Dynamics are insane! Look, based on how long it takes Crystal Dynamics to develop content for this game, to develop basic features for this game, and the fact that after over half a year this game is still buggy and broken as hell, it might as well be in an early access state. Hell, calling it in an early access state is an insult to actually good early access games like friggin' Valheim. The point is, based on Crystal Dynamics' track record, we're probably not going to see the War for Wakanda expansion until fall or even winter. There's no way in hell this is going to be ready in summertime. So Marvel's Avengers for the majority of 2021 is going to consist of content reusing assets and the implementation of basic features and game modes. And Crystal Dynamics expects you all to be excited over this. This is embarrassing. Compare Marvel's Avengers to Destiny 2, to Warframe, to The Division 2. Compare it to goddamn Fortnite. What reason are you giving players here to stick around or give this game a second chance? Crystal Dynamics still after all this time refuses to acknowledge and apologize for the broken, buggy, unoptimized state that the game is still in since launch. It's been over half a year and the game still runs like shit. The game is competing with Fallout 76 for how invasive and non-stop the bugs and glitches can be in an online live service video game. Look at all the other games coming out in 2021 and you expect people to still give a damn about or even remember Marvel's Avengers when the War for Wakanda expansion is even ready? We've got games like Halo Infinite, Resident Evil Village, Far Cry 6, Horizon Forbidden West, Deathloop, Back 4 Blood, Monster Hunter Rise, Outriders, Kena Bridge of Spirits, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, Bravely Default 2, Elden Ring is supposedly coming out this year. Biomutant is supposedly coming out this year. Oh, there's Nier Replicant? Oh, let's not forget Warhammer 40k Darktide and Aliens Fireteam. I mean, dude, Crystal Dynamics. Come on, man. There's so many other quality products releasing this year. There's so many other quality products on the market right now. Just completely devastating your ass in terms of consistent content updates, appeasing their communities and communicating with them, and just having basic fucking features in their games at launch and not taking months over half a year to implement them. But the cherry on top of this shit sundae. You know how Spider-Man was announced for Marvel's Avengers before the game even launched? Well, Marvel's Spider-Man being developed, but not coming before Black Panther. So there's a high likelihood you're not even going to see Spider-Man in the game this year, 2021. If you're lucky, you may see him around wintertime, around Christmas, perhaps. But who's gonna give a shit by then? What an absolute train wreck of a video game. How are indie video game developers with less than a quarter of your budget just completely blowing your product out of the water in terms of basic features, technical polish, stability, optimization, and just general content and gameplay to engage with? But you know what? Worse than all of that is Crystal Dynamics' refusal to acknowledge the state of their game and apologize to their fans, to their players, to their consumers. You released an unfinished, poor quality product, and instead of being adults and owning up to your mistakes, you've decided to live in a fantasy world and act like everything is fine, like your game is fine, like you don't have only a couple hundred people playing on Steam, on PC at any given time. In your live service co-op multiplayer game starring the Avengers from the Marvel Universe. All anyone wanted from you was to make a fun superhero video game where people got to play as their favorite Marvel superheroes and beat up bad guys, and somehow you fuck that up. And then continue to fuck that up over the course of a year. I'm going on a tangent, I know. And I never do this with video games. I've never done this with any other video game. I've never had this much contempt for a video game before. I've had my issues with games. I've had my disagreements and dislikes, just like anyone else. But even with video games that I don't find fun, not particularly fond of, I can still appreciate a video game for what it is, what it was trying to accomplish, the hard work the devs put in. Marvel's Avengers is the exception. I can't do that with Marvel's Avengers. The incompetence and malice from developer Crystal Dynamics, like, I can't ignore this. I can't pretend that this isn't a big deal. I can't ignore the fact that it takes them months upon months, over half a year, to implement basic features that every other game has at launch, that early access games have right now. Please don't encourage this behavior from developer Crystal Dynamics. They're spitting in your face, lying to you, and then asking you for more of your money and more of your time. There are better video games out there. There are better video game developers out there that actually respect you. Please, support them instead. Yeah, I've said everything I want to say. What an embarrassing roadmap. Imagine getting excited for this. Imagine getting excited for basic features and reused assets. Oh, man. Well, that's been my very last video on Marvel's Avengers. No more Marvel's Avengers videos. I'm done. I'm done with this game. We have more important video games to focus on, like Subverse and Outriders. Oh boy, aren't those exciting. Anyways, that's been a video. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Share the video on social media, Twitter, Reddit, and Facebook. And if you want to help out and support me directly, there's always Ko-Fi and Patreon in the links down below in the description. Anyways, that's been a video. I'll see you all later.